Greetings, genetic experiments. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld, the first Wendigo, episode 239, Destined for Lockup. We got really lucky in terms of breeding. Even without the 8s that were gestating, we managed to get a 10. So that is where we pick up. With the 10 gestating here in the vat. And a bunch of the 8s soon to be aging out of the vats. So that's quite exciting. A rare Twitch W for breeding? I know, right? I feel like I waited so long for it to work. And now that it has, I'm in like moderate disbelief that it happened. You know what I mean? Because it was one of those just like, oh, you know, we were stuck at like 3s and 4s for ages. And then it really snowballed. It snowballed in a way that I guess in hindsight I could have predicted, but I'm still surprised, pleasantly, obviously. So just to speed things up, I'm adding some auto doors around because the well, we got a bunch of components. You know, we have 110 here, so I figure that's fine. The other thing is I noticed preparing for the stream, Zero didn't have a joy wire, so we're gonna get one of those. There you go. Shihoro became a... Oh, you know what? I don't know if you are a colonist or a prisoner. You can be a colonist. So another thing that I wanted to do... Oh, Penna also aged up. Also, potential colonist. Would I consider adding 1 or 2 more accelerators? Probably not. The amount of rice that we have wouldn't be able to keep up with that. It is so many meals a day of to keep the accelerators on. I mean, I could add like 1 accelerator to each vat or something like that, but then I'd have to like split them up, you know, or redesign the room. You know, because this is the interaction spot. So, like, the bottom 2, I guess I could add 2 accelerators to. Well, but then this one would block the door. I mean, it's just not ideal. You know, if I could go back in time and have accelerators right from the get-go, I might have redesigned this base a little bit differently. Well, one thing about this base is it sort of morphed over time. Because it grew very organically. It wasn't like laid out or planned out. It just sort of grew into the mountain. And that's actually sort of how the ancient dangers, not ancient dangers, the ancient complexes seem to look like anyway. Like a organic morph growth or something. Ah, you've been watching on YouTube, and you're finally able to catch a live stream. Also, JD, Jojacam, and Stickiest, thank you for the resubs. Cheers. So what we're hoping to do is to get some 11s. It sounds crazy, just because it's been so long, but I do think that is an attainable goal finally. So far, I haven't had any brownouts. I don't think the days of brownouts are fully over. That would be... Oh, you know what I just realized? We are really low on plasteel. Okay, there's plasteel up there. Vanometric power cell. Oh, great. A chemically interested pyromaniac. What a fine combination. What a what a lovely young lady she is turning out to be. A youngling. Yeah, next up, Gourmand. I know, right? Wow. I have idle colonists. That indicates to me that I need to queue up some slag hauling. Pretty nutty that that's... Well, no, there's weapons out here. That also reminds me, I don't know when the last time I called in a trade caravan, but Wendy is due for death rest soon, so I think what I'm going to do is call trade caravans in now, and then right after she finished trades, I will death rest. There's other things I wanted to do as well this stream, but I'm keeping it hush-hush for now. You just got shooting 11. Not bad. That's our 10. There was also 8s in here as well, which I'm excited about. It's crazy that some of the people in the VATs are 4s and some of the ones are 10s. The disparity between the two is just kind of ridiculous. So I think one thing I wanted to do is, should I change the moral guide? So here's the thing. We finally did get strong social, right? Like, after forever and ever and ever. It was quite the marathon to get, or great social, I should say. We finally got great social. So, I have currently the ability to reimplant that into our moral guide, and our moral guide has been mass for the longest time. Mass's social is 13, but is actually 9. So it could go up to 17 with the implanted 8. I could also do prize it. Changing it over to Brazit, although honestly Mass has a much higher base social than Brazit, so maybe it doesn't make sense. Maybe what makes the most sense is to implant Mass with great social and that's it. You know, just leaving Mass as in terms of who has the highest social skills, if you're wondering. Let's check that. Okay, not slaves. Brahms? Wow. Okay, so somehow in the VAT, Brahms learned 17 social. So obviously they'd be a 20 if I implanted them. Madzin is a 4. Mass, for instance, is a 9, which is not bad at all. Sky is a 3. Oh, well, Wendy, but Wendy can't be a moral guide and a leader. So, yeah, Brahms would be the other contender, which is, like, out of left field. I think it's just... it's whatever that weird bug is with the growth vats. Like, every now and then you just learn a ton of XP. Like, a decimal point was misplaced or something. It's really weird. But when it happens, they get so much experience out of nowhere. One more minute to vote in that, but it looks like no is winning. Huh, the remove pollution area is still... So, how did... Oh, because Madsy's not set to clean. Oh, and also, y'all should not be on one hauling. Okay, that's better. was like, how are you idle when I have a pollution spot and you're not set to clean? That makes no sense. It looks like I didn't even set Madsy's work priorities up ever, which is my bad. Guess we'll allow you to mine. You kind of get full yield. Do I have enough meeples in here? Yeah, I got a lot of meeples. Alright, so no, we'll leave the moral guide alone. What I will do, though, is reassess Mass's implantation. So, Mass needs... Honestly... So, social shooting, maybe? Crafting wouldn't be bad either. We'll see if I can eke out crafting. Just because if Mass has a passion for crafting, she'll be happier when she does it. Wow. You are the... It's funny. Like, looking at Mass with only one germline gene in, it's like... how far we've come. It's impressive. So... what do we want to add? You don't even have... reduced pain, which is crazy, because almost everyone has reduced pain. So if you are to be our moral guide, I would actually like for you to be very attractive, because the relationship people have with their moral guide increases the chance of positive interactions when using moral guide abilities, so that helps. Got calm, kind instinct. You don't have dark vision. I wouldn't mind unstoppable, great shooting, and then great social, awful art, awful plants, awful cook, awful animals, awful mining, poor melee, poor construction. We were considering great crafting, but I'm not sure that I'm going to have the points left over. We'll see, I suppose. Very happy... and I'm at -6. Huh. I could do, like, intense UV sensitivity, but that's not necessarily... oh, heat weakness. And sterile. Yeah, you can be sterilized. Actually, you're the only one I would ever consider, because you have such... you're hopelessly... pointless. You have pointless germline genes, so that's a very strong choice there. And I have 1 point to play with. Usually I go for elongated fingers, but maybe there's something more special. Super clotting? Or maybe super clotting. I probably don't use super clotting all that often, to be honest. Like, it's just not a factor, because nobody ever bleeds very often, very long. Alright, so here is the mass xenogerm. I didn't manage to get you great craft, but you have great shooting, great social. They are, yeah, overwrite the baby Mark V. They are a mechanitor, but, Mass has learned 17 crafting, so I don't really need to give extra skill. I mean, at level 17, you're pretty much cranking out the best quality stuff anyway. Not a big advantage to get that up to 20. Alright, the plasteel drill is ready. And I probably have enough miners in the colony to do 2 different locations of deep drills. So I'll do plasteel up here and steel down there, because I need both. Mass is like a relic of older times. I know, right? Would you consider unfreezing the waster prisoners? So I would consider it, but the chance of having waster combined with our 10 to yield an 11 is very low. It's going to be a lot higher for my colonists that have other genes, which would be guarantees. If you think about it this way, anyone that carries a super immunity gene, or, you know, if I combine with wasters, I have a chance to get the super immunity gene, and then I have a chance to get the, to still inherit all of, Jacking Chan's genes. So, yeah, I mean, I would put it to a poll. Should I wake the wasters? Have you guys decide? Oh, look at the clean gang. The disadvantage of waking the wasters, which is the disadvantage of really doing anything, adding more pawns into the game, is the more people that are moving around and the more moving parts, the slower the game runs. And the slower the game runs, the slower the genetic gestations go. So, adding more people in comes at a cost, a measurable cost in terms of game performance. So I'm totally not against waking wasters. I do see the benefit. In an ideal world, if RimWorld was running smoothly, I would. But my concern is, you know, I want to avoid the churn. So the females in the colony that has super immunity would be Kadath, Phoenix, Shield, Zleb. So we already have 4 wasters with super immunity. And then there's probably more in the gestation vats, I'd imagine as well. What was that last message? I missed that. Oh, xenogerm. Was that masses? Oh, perfect. And she just went to sleep. What is your Lucy needs? Yeah, we're gonna have to administer that. Because you'll be in a coma by the time you need your next dosage of luciferium. Is this the biggest base I've had on stream? I think so. I mean, it's the longest series. False God was a pretty large base, but a lot of that was the caldera I lived in. So it depends on how you measure. Because that base was massive. I mean, by that measurement, like Dwarf Lords. I mean, there's a lot of other series that would compete. Crabs, you got an egg. Crabs crossed with stickiest. For potential of a 9. So, our moral guide is now at a 17 social. Pretty good. And they are well liked by, well, a lot of people in the colony, but not so much the prisoners, as one can imagine. How much is the social change going to affect their performance? Pretty considerably. I mean, it's a gain of only 4 points, but it's also a passion, so they'll learn faster too. Sentinel is about to have genes finished regrowing. So I'll also run a prediction. Might as well. This prediction is going to be whether or not I'm going to get genes that I want off of Sentinel. So prediction is up. And just to fill you in on what that looks like, the white hearts here is the ones I'm wanting. Hemogenic, Blood Feeder, Death Rest. I can't even actually reverse engineer the vampirism without hemogenic. Because all of the vampire skills require hemogenic. So I really hope to scan hemogenic at some point, but Blood Feeder, Coagulate. Blood Feeder would also be really useful, because otherwise I would need to rely on Hemogen packs, which is, like, not fun, and also not efficient. Alright, Egg, what are you? 6. I will crush you. Crush that egg into dust. Look how many... There's 4 armors that are in progress and not done. Okay. Interesting. Alright. I'm not going to wake the wasters. Copy that. So, Sentinel, you're going in. That's the rip scanner. Let's not kill you. So, really soon, we're going to have Iscandia and Mike and Reem out. So, let's vote on Iscandia first. Iscandia is a 4. Female, so also has super immunity. So, that's another potential breeding partner for Jacking Chan, who's the 10. What to do with Iscandia? So, colonist or prisoner is really the only 2 that I would consider. So, taking a look, Iscandia is fast wound healing, super immunity, cold tolerant, fur skin, great animals, and then careful shooter, pessimist, ascetic. Tancrowd, did you get a pawn last time? Yes. You are a 3 seasons old. You're a 9-month-old baby. Wow, you guys are... You just want her to be an egg donor. Alright, 1 more minute to vote in that poll. I have some other things that I want to poll on as well, like taking on more mech bosses, because Wendy lacks some implants, whether or not you think that's worth doing. And even beyond that, I have some other hidden goals. So taking a look at the power grid, the eastern one is still discharging the most, but really not by much. Not by a concerning amount. Oh, I could put wind here. Yeah. It will act as a wall blocker, though. That's not great. I don't like having to crawl over wind turbines to repair stuff. A smoke leaf binge. Because your aunt died. Well, Bryce, you're up. Words of Serenity. Alright, so prisoner with Iscandia. I think Mike was the next oldest. Or was it Reem? No, I think it's Mike. So Mike is also a super immune female. See, we have so many super immune females about to pop out. Mike has nearsightedness, so probably best for brawling. And is 6 genes. Misandrous, jealous, body purist? Body purist, huh? What to do with Mike? Given, no, never mind. Colonist or prisoner. It'll be up to you. Oh, I already have an antenna. How about I get a dish, too? The other thing I wanted to check is to make sure that everybody had nuclear stomachs. All the colonists. Because I could definitely see myself missing that and not noticing. Ah, Phiop has a foot scar. You know, do I have a bionic leg? No. I think I'm gonna get one, though. Phiop's a brawler, and a brawler that uses a Persona Zeus hammer, so a particularly useful brawler. Kind of good to have that individual such as that at full run speed. There was a lot of really negative moods in the colony, but that's, if you're wondering, because I murdered a whole bunch of loved ones. So if you take a look at Rogi's moods, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. Oh, 8, 9 people that died related to Rogi. I think you can start to see why they're in a bad mood. It happens. Murder on the ice sheet. The way Wendy intends. Nope, there goes another. And a lot of this is just mass stacks of death from culling. So, Sentinel gave us strong melee damage. Not what I wanted. So that's a fail. And I think Evie is... No, Star is going to go in about a day and a third. And Kath in 13 hours. How long does the mood last? It lasts for 2 seasons. So... Oh, I don't want... Wrong. So a lot of those moods are going to be moods for the next, like, 25 days or so. Now let's look at Rogi. 23 days. That was close. 24 days. Yeah, 23 or 24 more days. Wow, this pollution bubble is disappearing quick. Okay, we are going to imprison Mike as well. Man, you guys are just vicious. Kim Jong-un up in the chat, just imprisoning it. Well, okay. I think the U.S. wins that title for most imprisoned. Next up is Reem. Reem is the next oldest. Oh, and they're definitely going to be in the prison because they have faulty genes. Given that you are choosing to imprison so many people, I'm going to need more prisoner xenogerms. Because we're going to have to implant those. Fantasy. What to do with fantasy? So fantasy is also female. So prisoner or colonist. They are not a super immune. They came with strong melee damage. They are a tortured artist, slow learner, and creepy breather. And then the last one will be Sapo. And Eagle. So not last one. And Whaler. Man, there's so many that are all roughly the same age. Colonist left unburied. Yeah, you did that, Stevie. Well, Bubba Shug, by the way, I missed it like 12 minutes ago. Thank you for the resub. Sorry, I am distractible today. Also, I wanted to make it clear, those that were voting to throw them in the clink, I don't care. I'm not trying to tell you not to do that. I was just remarking that there was, you know, throwing 6s in a prison is not unprecedented, but it's rather unusual given that we haven't really been doing that. Okay, so East just browned out. That is important because I am going to need to know what to do about that. Whether to add chem fuel or, you know, whatever else. And actually, Center is about to brown out too. My guess is it's... Oh, it's an eclipse. Okay, never mind. I take it back. I think planning your power grid to deal with eclipses is not necessary, because eclipses happen infrequently enough that, you know, that's what backup batteries are for. So I just flicked the backup batteries on the 2 grids that needed it, and problem solved. I do think it might be a good idea to have a bank of chem fuel generators that can add excess power production on demand. I don't think that that's necessarily a bad idea, but planning on power generation to generate power during the lowest times, i.e. eclipses, is like, you know, pointless. All right, T-Sang made the leg for what was FIAP, right? Yeah. Bunkaplex, thank you for the resub too. I'll drink to that. So Fantasy, it looks like you're also going to become a prisoner. Rough life you live, or will live. So next up would be, let's go with Sapo. So Sapo is also female. Nimble, pessimist. Oh, Sapo's destined to be a prisoner. Never mind, I take that back. So Whaler and Eagle. So here's Whaler. Whaler is also female. And destined to be a prisoner. So I take that back. So then Eagle. Eagle's the only one. So Slowpoke, Optimist, Ascetic. And genetically, fast wound healing, mini horns, strong melee damage, robust, reduced pain, dark vision. So what to do with Eagle? Are you male? Yeah, you're male. Okay, so given that Eagle is male, Eagle could also be cryptoslept. There we are. You guys pick. I really hope that they brought something I want to buy. Slow study. Do I have slow study? No, I don't. I don't own slow study. And it comes bundled with roar voice and very fast runner. So I'm going to buy it, but it's one of those that I'm going to need to split. Side def and super clotting, I have both already. Wow, that's like a perfect trade. It's weird that I don't have slow study given how many Neanderthals I had. I know. But I was never really scanning the Neanderthals. And also Neanderthals have like a ton of genes in them. So it's difficult to get slow study out of Neanderthals as a result. Are you a Neanderthal? No, you're a Edekin. What color did I put Neanderthals? Was that light blue? Yeah. So you can see Neanderthals have tons of genes. They're like pretty gene loaded compared to the other subspecies or species or whatever. So it's hard to scan slow study separate from everything else. And Eagle is due for crypto sleep. Man, you guys are vicious. You're basically, I think you're voting that, like, no one becomes a colonist, which is fine. You know, totally fine. So I called in bulk goods traders this time around, hoping to be able to purchase foods that I could feed the prisoners, and I am getting no such luck. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy the meat, because I know that my my prison runs on meat. So that's still useful, I guess. With so many colonists, we can be picky. It's true. I'm not sure what advantage adding more colonists would even bring us. And all right, so Eagle, you're due for crypto sleep. So every single person that is coming out of the regular vats are either prisoners or crypto slept in Eagle's case. So for Eagle, we're going to need to expand the crypto sleep casket facility because there's no space. So I'll be doing that in just a minute. It's weird that I got a break warning while in a trade screen. Because, like, time isn't progressing. So, like, nothing... Why did the game go, oh, you're due for a mental break? Like, while... Yeah, I don't know. It's like old news. All right, that is done. There is not a hard cap on colonists. It's basically until your computer hardware cooks itself. That would be when you need to consider shedding colonists or shedding anything. Because it's not just colonists that moves around. It's animals, it's mechs, it's prisoners, it's slaves. But there isn't a hard cap. It's a hardware cap. All right, so the thing I wanted to do right after that was to death rest. So let's jump in. And I would say I'm pretty good on steel at the moment. So I'm going to flick these off, but keep them in place for when I need steel. I'd rather just have the plasteel, because we're really behind on plasteel. Because I have about 3k steel, which, good enough for now. So Wendy's sleeping. There was something... Oh, man, we're about to have a big old brownout. So the other thing I wanted to ask is... Oh, Jack and Chan? Getting jealous. You are the flawless 10 and you're jealous of something? That's just kind of funny to me. Kath, it is time to scan your genes. So, prediction. Start a prediction. Will I get the genes I want from Kath? I'll give you 2 minutes to submit your bets. And it's the same exact sanguiphage genes as I was trying to get from Sentinel. So the formula hasn't changed at all. You believe in Cass? You're voting yes? I like the certainty. Another thing I wanted to poll on is, should I build a bank of chem fuel generators to supplement power when needed. Or actually, bank of generators that I can turn on and off. The reason I reworded that is it's possible to either do toxifier generators or chem fuel generators. I mean, there's also wood fire generators, but that doesn't make sense in my case because there's no wood on this map tile. Is it worth moving the shelves with herbal meds into the prison now? This one? Yeah, it could probably be moved straight into the prison at this point to reduce halt time. Oh, well. Rip it up the prisoner. Like how I'm still being warned about mental breaks. It's like, yep, I get it. Wendy doesn't care though. She's asleep. So she's up in 2.5 days. I think I'm having rolling brownouts now, which is funny that I have that poll up. So even the eastern grid needs to be added to the battery banks. Stupid prolonged eclipse. Nothing like a one-day eclipse, right? Escandia popped out. So, Escandia, you are due to be a prisoner. So we are going to implant you with prisoner's xenogerm and with a joy wire. Thank you for watching the first Wendigo, which originally streamed live on Twitch August 13th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my gaming community, it also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. Hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Wendigos.